Now, first up, the UK has signed a deal to hand control of the Chagos Islands to Mauritius. In the deal, Mauritius would gain sovereignty of the islands from the UK, but allow the US and the UK to continue operating a military base on one of the islands, Diego Garcia, for an initial period of 99 years. But there's a cost, and the cost is £101 million a year. Let's have a listen to Keir Starmer defending the deal.
By agreeing to this deal now on our terms, we're securing strong protections, including from malign influence, that will allow the base to operate well into the next century, helping to keep us safe for generations to come.
Now, before we begin, we've got a very keen quizzer in the form of Bobby. But, many of you at home might be asking the questions, we've handed over sovereignty, but where is it? Bobby Seagull, where do you reckon it is?
So if you sort of look at where India is on the map, head down south towards the Maldives, and perhaps that's like a few hundred kilometres. Then another maybe 500 kilometres further south, the Chagos Islands will be there. So almost like if you go from Africa, you go to Mauritius, sort of almost like if Mauritius go east, India go south, it'll be sort of like in that little corner there.
Anne, you want to agree with that?
I want to agree with that.
Well, you are entirely right. It's here. You see, it's a little dot in the Indian Ocean, but it's a very important one. Nevertheless, here we are. If you're at home going, where's the Chagos Islands? Where that circle is. Now, it's an important part of the world, not least because it has strategic value, most especially to the United States, who run a military base there. I'm going to start with you, Bobby. Lots of people saying that this is a form of surrender. What do you think?
So I think it's being pragmatic. And actually, there's a sort of morality behind this. Because if you look at the history of how the Chagos ended up in Britain's hands, initially in the 1780s, the French had the land and they moved slaves from Africa to the Chagos Islands to look at coconut plants, and Britain then controlled it after Napoleonic Wars. But I think it's almost like a relic of our colonial empire. And if you're looking at the current situation with Russia and Ukraine, if we want to have that moral standing position where we're like, oh, what you're doing, Russia is wrong in Ukraine, we can't then go and say, oh, we've got these islands from our historic past. So I think it's like almost like a moral deal for us.
Well, you said it's a moral deal, and come to you, Anne, just so people understand what exactly is going on. Why would Sir Keir sort of fiddle about with our ownership in the first place? In 2019, the General Assembly of the UN effectively demanded that the UK hand back the Chagos Islands because the International, a Court of Justice gave an advisory opinion to say that when we gave back Mauritius, put it that way, our ownership, even though we paid about £3 million for the Chagos Islands, was dubious under international law. And so they were worried about getting a judgment against them. So they said, all right, you can have it back, but we're going to lease it back. Now, what do you think? Do you think this is surrender? A lot of people do, certainly the Conservative Party does.
I do, yeah. I mean, I think it's an incredible situation whereby you say to somebody, look, I'm going to give you this back. Oh, but by the way, I'm also going to pay you, and the base is largely American anyway, so I don't quite see why we're bearing the lion's share of that. But the fact is that this, over time, is going to cost about $30 billion.
Yeah.
He's already committed us to contributing once more to the European budget. So it appears that he's got all the money in the world when it's his pet schemes, but when it comes to the old folks or the people on benefits, suddenly he doesn't have any money. Now, which way round is it?
Do you think you should be saying to Donald Trump, look, I mean, Diego Garcia is an American base. You want it. You pay for it. Yeah. Why do you think he hasn't said that to Donald Trump?
I don't know why he hasn't said that to Donald Trump any more than I don't know why he so tamely has agreed to, start recontributing to the EU budget. As I say, he's always got money when it's one of his pet schemes.
Now, it's interesting because the deal was nearly scuppered. It's being signed, I think, today. But last night at the High Court, a judge, Sir Julian Goose, great man, know him, actually stopped it for a short period of time, saying, look, this is a problem because we've got a woman here who says that there hadn't been adequate consultation. There's rumour so that's the Chagos Islands, as I have to say, they were depopulated from Diego Garcia, which I think some of the point that you were making. But on top of that, there's rumour that they were actually joined by somebody from your party, Reform, in that action. It got stopped, the government went and appealed, and that was overturned so that Keir, who was waiting around in his car to see whether the deal could actually be signed, ultimately could, because another judge said, sorry, you can go ahead, the government. Your first judge was wrong. Have a listen, because we can hear from a woman called Beatrice Pompey, who was born on the Chagos Islands, who took legal action over the deal this week.
We're being treated like garbage because now they see us like garbage in their backyard. They need to get rid of. That's what they're doing, pining us off to Mauritius.
Well, it seems that the deal is going ahead. It looks like they're going to be signing that today. Now.